Hello guys, this is Aram Jain. Welcome back to my channel. On this video, in continuation of the video which I made last week about how your LinkedIn profile looks like and what kind of perception it really gives to the people who really see your profile. This video will just help you understand that which sections of your profile are really lacking behind. Sometimes you find that you are doing every right thing, you're kind of posting the right content, you have everything filled out in your profile, but still your views don't get as many, your posts don't get as many views or likes or comments as probably other people in your industry. Now, the reason for that is that there's something which you're doing definitely wrong and you're unable to find that out. So in this video, I will talk about that tool which you can use to analyze your profile and basically understand what is the one element or different elements which are wrong in your profile. And before I started this video, in case you haven't seen the video from last week, which is about the different elements which people actually get a perception of you from your profile in the first few seconds. I think there will be a link in the video description or they will be popping up here in the section. Just check out the video and I'm sure it will help you out. In addition to the video which will be the content which I'll be covering today. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you like it, comment any suggestions, and let's get started. So, have you ever heard of SSI on LinkedIn? It is known as Social Selling Index, SSI. Now, it's a LinkedIn analyzer itself. It's not a third-party tool. So, the kind of response which you get on the LinkedIn SSI is basically your score, and it's not manipulated. So, it's basically everything authenticated by LinkedIn itself. So, if you think about the terms of authentication or why you should trust this kind of tool, it's just because it's by LinkedIn and LinkedIn is analyzing your activity and different elements of your profile. So there's literally no reason why you should not trust this tool. Now, this tool is known as SSI, as I said, Social Selling Index, and it primarily gives you the response on four elements. So number one is that what kind of people you have in your connections, and by the kind of people I would say that if you're making the right connections or not. So for example, if you're working in automotive sector, and then you could have connections, primarily you should have connections in the automotive sector, right? Because you're working in that industry. But let's say you have connections in some other field at all which is not related to automotive. That could be a reason why you realize that your major connections are not in the industry which you're working on. So that's a great insight, and then you can actually start looking at it and then probably work on it in terms of building more connections in the industry which you're working on. So that is one element. The other element is that building relationships with your connections. Now, in terms of building relationships, it really tells you about what are you able to generate a kind of trust among the people you are connecting with. Now, it's really hard to build a trust on an online platform like LinkedIn itself, but it's merely, I guess, it kind of analyzes the conversations which you have with people. First of all, if you have conversations with them or not, that's what relationship building is all about, right? And then what kind of conversation you're having. So it really helps to understand and analyzes your profile in terms of if you're able to build relationships with your connections. So once you get the right connections and you have the right kind of relationships with them, it helps. And the third element comes into the picture, which is engaging your clients or engaging your networks with the insights on your LinkedIn. Now the thing is, some people have kind of everything, but they're just not very active on LinkedIn, so they're not posting enough. So in terms of posting, you have to be frequent, but at the same time, you don't have to just post anything out of the blue. You have to make sure that the kind of work you're putting on LinkedIn pertains to the people in your connections. It's pertaining to the industry and the kind of work you are actually doing. Because if you're putting a work which is not relevant to either you or the connections, it's just not going to get the huge amount of likes and comments and the number of views. So that's another element. And the last but not the least is building a professional brand. I think it's a foremost element because it kind of is based on what you put in your profile. So in terms of all the details, if you're missing out on something, and I think it's an element which is a sum of all the elements I've talked before, because building a professional brand requires you to build right kind of connections, have good relationships with them, and engage them with your insights. So if you're able to do all those activities and have all the details filled out in your profile, it really is a great progress towards your professional brand. Now, this tool is really effective. It gives you a score out of 25 for each of the elements, and then you get a total score which is like out of 100. So for example, when I started off, I was at a score of 40, which was really bad, but now I'm somewhere in the range of 70s and 75. So it really helped me to understand what was one thing which I was doing wrong, or different things I was doing wrong. Because of the score of 40, I was I saw that I'm not engaging with enough people on LinkedIn. I'm not posting enough on LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is important. We all know the value which it brings to the careers. As I said, it's in my previous video. I covered all of that in terms of the perception which it gives you and the kind of role it plays in bringing a change in your career. But as I said, LinkedIn really this core social selling index was really helpful for me because it gave me an understanding of what I was missing out actually on. I mean, when I started off, I saw that I was having right connections. I wasn't able to communicate much with people. I was not communicating much with people, and I was not posting enough. So overall, my professional brand at that point in time in LinkedIn was really poor. Now, score of 40 is an average in terms of ranking, if you say. It's really hard to increase your score. It takes a consistent effort over a period of time. It's not that if you post something today or you build right connections today, your score will just boom up. It's a gradual, slow process which takes time, but the results are effective using the tool. And coming to the level of 70, I realized that it really makes your profile stand out. It was, when you don't get chance at all to be contacted by recruiters, and then you suddenly are just getting some applications, through the recruiters itself, through InMail. That really helps out. And overall, I think it's a really effective tool to build a brand and to basically understand where you are. When I did my research, it came out that a score of 70 or 70 and 80, it's a good sign. But majority of the people are in the range about 55 to something 62, 63, 62, 63. That's the range which most of the people are in. So if you're falling out of this range, if you're below this range, you really have to work on. If you are in this range, you should work on to come out of this range on the upward side so that you have strong edge. And if you're in 70 and 80s, just don't stop, because if you stop doing what you're doing, it will bring your score down back from where you started off. So this is something which you have to just keep on going. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to post every day. It just means you probably have to spend like 5-10 minutes every day on LinkedIn just to see what's the update, what's going on with your connections. If you like something, comment there. If you don't like something, just scroll down, send some new connections, accept some connections if you like to. It's just about like spending a little bit of time every day and just opening your LinkedIn and just checking what's going on, right? Now, where do you access this tool? It's pretty simple. When you don't know something, Google it up. That's what I did initially when I came to know about this. So I just typed like Google, SSI LinkedIn, and then there's the first tab which comes up. I open it up, and then there it says get your score right now. You hit it there, and then it will ask you to log in your information, and then once you log in, you actually see your score. Now, as I said, the score is out of 100. So you can, let's say you have a score of 60 out of 100. Now, along that score, there will be 4 parameters which we talked initially, which is building relationships, engaging them with the insights, connecting with the right people, and building a professional brand. Now, all those parameters are scaled out of 25. And so you can actually see that where are you in terms of each and every parameter, and which parameter is the weakest one, which you have to really focus on. And when you click on each and every parameter, it shows you that what this parameter actually means and how you can actually improve it. So it not only tells where you're lagging behind, but it also tells you how you can improve that parameter so as to have a good cumulative effect on the overall score. And I think that page is really effective because it also shows you where you stand in your industry and in your connections in terms of the SSI score. So for example, it can tell you that you stand in top 10% of the people in your connections. in terms of your SSI score, and you probably stand like top 8%, top 15% for your overall connections. So that's another thing which you can see. Oh, okay, my people in my industry, I'm in top 10% in terms of my SSI score, so I'm not doing that bad in LinkedIn as per the SSI. And this tool can never be wrong, guys. I mean, it's a LinkedIn tool, so as I said about authentication, you really don't have to doubt it. And yeah, in terms of still you're able to not get the tool, I'll drop down a link in the description. Check that out. Check out the video which I posted last week. And I think that's all which I have for you in this video, because many of you don't know, like myself, I didn't know about this tool, but it's such a simple tool, nobody really talks about it. So I said, like, just bring it out, help people who really don't have people like me generally, who are just trying to improve your profile, and they see that why is my profile not getting why is my comments or my posts not getting as many views, because of some other people or probably my connections. It's really simple. Just go to the website which is in the link. Follow the video which I posted last week. That's also about LinkedIn. It's about perception which your profile gives you, and the people which sees it in like initial 5-10 seconds, and some details, some tweaks on your profile, how it can affect your overall perception of people. So, and guys, I think that was it. This weekend I really decided that LinkedIn SSI is something which I need to bring out, because many people don't know about it, that there's even a tool or a profile tool which can actually helps to get a score for your profile. So check that out, it's pretty interesting, and I'll probably see you next week with some more content. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.